Good morning. I'm out here working on a little weekend project on my Sportsman Masters 207, and it occurred to me it might make sense to sort of video document what I'm doing. It's a pretty easy little project. So one of the cool things about this boat is it has dual live wells in the back, one of which is plumbed up with a air circulation system, a bubbler. And when I put either a caught fish in there or any kind of bait fish, I could literally catch a fish, put it in there, turn the air on, and it'll be alive and so perky that I can hardly catch it when I get home to clean it. So what I'm going to do is actually plumb up my second live well with aeration, because I have a tournament coming up that's a live release redfish tournament, and I want to have both those live wells available so that I can keep these fish alive. So here we have the normally plumbed live well. I've got a little water in it. As you can see, the air stone in the back corner. There's also one here in the near corner, right there. Boats are delivered with something called the Pro Air system, which is a product of TH Marine. It's a good product. Mine eventually failed. It's not that uncommon of a problem because sometimes water gets back down into the unit, and it can make it turn off. I'm going to talk about how to avoid that as well. But when I went to replace it, I did a little shopping and found an alternative that I want to recommend. It's about half the price. So here's what I found as an alternative. It's called Power Bubbles 12-volt air pump, and works exactly the same way. You just wire it up to your wire. It's got 2 channels coming out. First thing I noticed was that it has a lot of output. So this one live well was really churning with a lot of air. So what I did is I took just one channel and I split it into 2 and just tested it. So I'll show you that right now with one channel. If I turn that on, you can see there's still plenty of air coming out of there. This air system is pretty much the same as an aquarium. It's got 1/4-inch OD, 3/16 ID tubing. So before drilling into the other live well, the big concern is that you keep it waterproof. So what I did is I did a little shopping at Lowe's and found these. It's just a 3/16 straight barbed fitting. And what I did is I drilled a hole and epoxied these right into the top of the other live well. So that is what it looks like after it's been epoxied. And you notice I put a few wire retainers here. I also epoxied those onto the side, and I did that same thing on both sides of this live well. There's probably a lot of different products you could use for this, but I've used this G-Flex. Something I've used for other projects. It's really, really strong. The only thing is it mixes up thick. You just need to let it give it at least 12 hours to set before you try to do anything with it. So yesterday I did all the hard work, which was the drilling and epoxying, and let it set up. So the fun part is today, where I get to wire everything up and check it out. One of the key selling points of this boat, if you ask me, I'm standing in the bilge right now, and I can fit my entire 6-foot tall frame completely into that bilge. Not comfortably, but relatively comfortably, and I can get in there and do all the work I need to do. Okay, so all I've done so far is hook up the second channel, and I'm reutilizing some of the wire ties, and I added a couple yesterday. I'm just bringing this single channel all the way up over here for now. So now I'm going to split this channel into 2, and I'm using these little quick connects. I found these at Lowe's, and they're a little pricey. They're like $5 to $10 each, but man, they make things simple. Just push them in and you're done. Okay, so when we wire these 2 channels, it's pretty important that you make a loop in the hoses that is attached at the very as high as you can go on the top underside of the bilge if you don't want water to backflow. And the second thing you need are these little check valves, which you can buy in an aquarium store. Make sure each channel has a check valve in line, and there's an indicator which way the air wants to go. You should be able to blow through it in one direction, not in the other. Make sure you wire them up the right way and make those loops in your line. You won't have any trouble with backflow. Okay, I can't see the other side of my barbed through fitting, so I had to do it by feel, make sure it's pushed on there really good. And I got that coming around the back. Now I need to do that with the other channel as well. What I'll do is attach it here. All right, after some contorting here, I've got that channel plugged in the back. Got the check valve in, got a loop up in the top. And this channel coming around, looking up there, and same thing on that side. The next part is the fun part, which is wiring the inside of the live well. Should just take a couple minutes. You can pick up these little stones, air stones, on Amazon.com for like $3 for 10 of them, and they just plug it into the hose. They're a little fragile. If they break, who cares? They're so cheap. Just buy a bag of them and replace them when you need to. All right, so I got the inside wired up. It's you know, it's not bad. It's not super clean like the Pro Air one, but it does the trick. All right, so I got some water in live well number 2 that are cleaned out. And now, as they say, it's the moment of truth. We'll see if I wired this thing up right and see how it does. Air on. Okay, here's the original. Looks great. Here's a new one. Yeah, buddy. Nice. Well, there you have it. That's a pretty simple little project. It's going to really enhance the tournament fishability of this boat. One thing that I was thinking at first was to put a little valve in each channel. So if I was only using one live well, you know, I could turn the other side off. But I decided not to do that. If I'm not using the other live well, it'll just blow some air out of it. It's no harm done. I think it's better than trying to put a valve in to stop the flow and put a little more pressure on the pump. Let's just let the pump go. So hope you enjoyed this. Maybe it inspires you to do the same. It's well worth it. It's overall a very inexpensive project. And like I said, it's going to do a lot. If I keep 1 or 2 fish in each live well during a tournament, they're going to come back super lively, and they won't die. It also is good for a release well. If you catch a fish and you throw them in there, let them swim around while you get your stuff ready, take a picture, put them back in the water. He'll be healthy. All right, till next time, this is Dave at iStrike Fishing, and enjoy.